People in their 40s. What's something people in their 20s don't realize is going to affect them when they age? Story 1. Bad habits become harder to recover from and can lead to health problems the rest of your life. Not just in catastrophic ways, but in little ways like bad joints or aches and pains. Stay mobile. Stay healthy. Story 2. The benefits of working out. My father started regularly working out in his 40s. Nothing extreme, just consistent. He is now 87 and is still in great health. All of his doctors have credited the fact that he started regularly taking care of himself as the reason why he is doing so well.
Now the flip side of that, he has had to deal with a lot of loss, including my mother.
Story 3. Neglecting your dental health. Deciding to stop going to the dentist because you are no longer forced to by your family won't end well, trust me. That was not a smart choice I made way back when, and it affected me for years after. Honestly, it could have been much worse for me. Story 4. Lack of physical activity is a huge one. Just because you aren't overweight does not mean you don't need regular exercise. The benefits go far beyond weight loss. Exercise maintains the health of your bones and joints. It also maintains many of your internal organ systems. And currently we're learning that it even helps to maintain the telomeres on your chromosomes, effectively slowing down the aging process itself. Story 5. The families of their SO. Even if your SO is amazing, if their family culture is toxic, it is going to have a massive negative effect on your life. I know it sounds harsh, sad, but it should be a big portion of the decision to commit to someone. Story 6. If you're a woman, probably perimenopause. We collectively think of menopause as being the big deal, not realizing it's a process and not realizing it's an issue that often starts in our 40s. Story 7. Drinking. Even drinking moderately, 14 drinks per week, or 2 per night, literally degenerates your brain, thins your prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making, communicating, regulating emotion, and other executive functions. Edit. To everyone telling me 14 drinks a week could not possibly be moderate. It is the medical standard in the US. My entire point was that even drinking amounts deemed moderate by medical professionals can still seriously damage your brain and body. Moderate doesn't mean a little, it means moderate. Story 8. IDK how much this applies, but there comes a point in life, for many it's in their 40s, where you realize that stuff like being famous, building a legacy, being highly respected in your career, etc., doesn't matter at all. And when you get there, life becomes wonderful. You quit worrying about where you're going and start to enjoy what you have. It's hard to get there early, but at the least, you can look forward to it. Story 9. All those old injuries you had in your life, the twisted knees, sprained or broken ankles, surgeries, etc., yeah, you're probably going to feel those again at some point in your life. Oh, and the fun part is when you hurt yourself, and it takes longer to recover. My knees are toasted from so many injuries when I played sports, and the multiple back injuries I've had keep getting worse and worse. Last year I sneezed and threw out my back and was laid up for 3 days. There is a way to counter this. If you work out, keep doing it. I stopped doing any real working out when I was in my late 20s. I'm sure had I continued, this might not pertain anymore. Story 10. Meaningful friendships become more selective, scarce, and precious. You need to actively maintain them. If you are fortunate enough to live into your 40s and beyond, you will age. Everyone does. It will not magically pass you by, or your partner for that matter. Choose a partner whose company you will enjoy as you go through the second half of life together, despite the way both of your looks are changing. Story 11. Who you have children with. Buying a house? Can get out of it eventually. Marriage? Can get divorced. Moving together? Can always move home. Financial crisis? Budget, work on it. But kids? You're tied to that person you parent with forever. It truly is the most for better or worse situation, and people just breeze into it without thinking, to be young and full or hormones again. Story 12. The health, wealth, and mental stability of your parents, grandparents. Your 20s are generally that sweet spot where the people you love aren't dropping dead, going crazy, or going broke. By the time you reach 40, the people you have always relied on may start relying on you instead. If you're lucky, you'll still have 2 parents in good health who can take care of themselves, but you may also find yourself spending your 30s plus taking care of sick, dying, or destitute family members. Also, wear sunscreen and be kind to your knees and your back. Baz Luhrmann wasn't just playing. Story 13. Stress, especially when you get to the age that you start to realize most of the shit you've worried about in life wasn't even worth worrying over. If it's causing you stress and you don't need it, walk away. What's meant to be in our lives will be, one way or another. Story 14. Let me tell you about second puberty. Think you got all the hair you're going to? Think again and look at your back and ears and eyebrows. Thought you were done with growth spurts? Well, you're going to grow again, just out instead of up. And things are just going to start hurting for no reason. And you'll got a doctor and say, my knee hurts, and they'll say, yeah, that'll happen at your age. Try these PT exercises 3 times a day and maybe it'll stop. The biggest thing, though, is time. You just never have enough of it. Like, do I even have any hobbies anymore? When was the last time I exercised? What did I do with all my time? Being an adult takes a lot of my time and most of my energy. Story 15. People in their 20s aren't prepared for the experience of having people younger than them claim that some experience was a foundational core of their generation, when you had the same experience long before that. I'm in my 40s, and I get this all the time with millennials claiming they were there for the birth of the internet, and then go on to talk about sites like eBaum's World and Homestar Runner and MySpace, when people my age have been using the internet and making memes and getting in stupid arguments since before the web existed. It will happen to you. Your experiences will be discounted by younger generations because every generation thinks they invented the freaking wheel. Gen X is just as guilty of this as anyone before or after us too, so don't think I'm saying we're innocent. We like to think that our generation has a monopoly on being the disaffected generation. But try telling that to 50s beatniks. Story 16. Take your mental health seriously. Dudes, let your significant other feel their feelings. Don't try to problem solve for them. To quote my therapist, be a lighthouse. Give a light, but let the storm run its course. Also, learn to recognize your feelings. Be open about them. You'll be amazed how much smoother your relationships will be. Story 17. That you're on your own. One day you wake up and you're 40 and absolutely nobody gives a shit about you. The earlier you can handle real life, the better. The earlier you can make hard decisions without checking with someone, the better. Everyone who says it goes by quick is not lying. One day you're the old guy in the room and you need to be secure with being the leader because young people will look to you for answers. You need to have them. The earlier you can be comfortable having dependence in your life, the better. It's so seductive to think that your mentor or your boss or your favorite politician is going to figure out all of your problems for you and is looking out for your best interests. As you age, the clock ticks and you're like, Jesus, I really need to make something happen here, whether it is starting your family, committing to a skilled trade or job, committing to a house or anything like that. The earlier you can make those commitments and feel comfortable with them, the better. Story 18. You are not Hercules or the world's strongest man. Do not lift heavy shit to show off, or because you think it's easier or quicker than getting help or the right equipment. Back problems will show up and they can never fix them to be like you were before. This especially applies at work. No amount of money/job is worth being an invalid the rest off your life. Story 19. Doing things in your young years has a big effect when you get older. What I mean by this, doing stupid stuff like throwing yourself off the top of a house to look cool, hurting yourself really badly has a big effect on you when you age. Spraining an ankle happens. Breaking your ankle because you saw something done by a professional and then thinking it's not going to affect me down the line as you age is idiotic. I hurt when the weather changes. My ankles are so weak, I have to wear supporting boots to help me. My collarbone aches when I sleep wrong. Guess you have to go to work when joints ache so badly and do a 12H shift. No aches, no gain? Shut up. I rather feel good than crappy and hurting. Why did I do backyard wrestling when I was young and dumb? Jackass. Yeah, the show and movie. No, that is what I'm calling my younger self if I ever time travel. I should have listened to my old man when I was young. He was a pool of wisdom. Story 20. The slow drip of alcoholism. You might not be a binge drinker in your 20 ES, which while good, doesn't mean you are in the clear. I was a binge drinker and kicked the habit in my early 30s and have been sober for 6+ years. Now, we are all pushing 40, and the people I once drank with, who didn't really seem to have a problem because they didn't get super wasted, are now hitting me up for advice on how to quit. 2 glasses of wine a night out of your 20s and into your 30s doesn't seem like a big deal, but what I'm seeing is that is turning into 3, then 4, then a bottle, and a couple mixed drinks, then 2 bottles, on and on. By the time they are realizing it's an issue, they are dependent, and the habit is so well established, they don't know how to get rid of it. Think about it. Every night after work, you get home, have a drink, then another, then do that for 15 years and all of a sudden this slow drip has turned into a waterfall. Story 21. People-pleasing, don't do things for others out of fear they will hate you. You have no control how anyone responds to you, rightly or wrongly. Running away from feelings. Don't do it. It will bite you harder and affect people you love, especially if you end up having children. Getting fillers and pumping your face full of shit. I see how naturally plump my face was when I was in my 20s, and while I miss being young, I'm actually okay with the fact my face tells a whole bunch of stories. But as mentioned before, wear sunscreen. Future, you will be so glad, and that's probably why I feel fine with getting older. Story 22. Neglecting your health. You should be doing constant maintenance on your body. If you don't take care of your vehicle, what happens? It breaks down. So will you if you don't take care of yourself. Start young and develop a consistent routine.
I'm 50 now, and being in good shape has saved my life multiple times. I've had tons of surgeries between 21 and 49, including 6 brain surgeries, disc replacements, and cancer. You'd never know it if you met me. I still work out every day, at least I try to.
Story 23. Eating terrible food, not using PPE when you're working around products that you should be wearing it. This is everything from cleaning solvents to high-particle environments, even bleach in the bathroom. It's the continuous exposure over time that will get people. Number 1, though, eating terrible food and lack of exercise. Letting yourself go physically is terrible for your mental health, terrible for your physical health. It is the single worst life choice I can think of. Story 24. The glorious 20s, where you think you're invincible, partying all night and surviving on coffee and optimism. But let me tell you, as a seasoned 40-something, there are a few reality checks waiting for you. First off, those hangovers you brush off with a greasy breakfast. In your 40s, a Friday night out means you're bedridden until Tuesday. Your liver and I have a good laugh about it over our kale smoothies. Speaking of food, remember eating an entire pizza at 2 a.m. without a second thought? Yeah, your metabolism will soon decide it's time to retire, and every calorie will cling to you like a needy ex. And let's talk about your back. Right now, you could sleep on a park bench and be fine. In your 40s, tying your shoes can send you into traction. Oh, and sleep? You'll soon trade wild nights for the sweet, sweet embrace of a 9 p.m. bedtime. Naps become the highlight of your weekends. Fashion, enjoy those trendy clothes while you can. Comfort takes over, and suddenly those Crocs don't look so bad. Your taste buds will also pull a fast one on you. That hot sauce you love? Soon a sniff will have you crying for milk. You'll start appreciating things like aged cheese and, brace yourself, vegetables. Tech will outpace you, leaving you bewildered by the latest gadgets. You'll be that person asking a teenager how to work your holographic phone. Friendships will shift too. Your massive social circle will shrink, but the friends who stick around will be the real MVPs. Mental health? In your 20s, you feel invincible. But life throws curveballs, and having solid mental health practices will save you from a midlife crisis involving a sports car and questionable fashion choices. But here's the kicker. Wisdom trumps youth. In your 40s, you'll know yourself better, have clearer goals, and the confidence to chase them without apology. So, live it up now, but sneak in some self-care. Future, you will be eternally grateful. Cheers to the ride. Story 25. They need to realize that they need to spend time with their parents now. Right now. You will regret later you couldn't spend time with them. Learn things more and more. Tougher jobs, internships, courses, or whatever you get, join and learn. Later, you will not be able to start learning. The skills you learn during this transition is what will define your working style and how much you make money in future. Health, health, and health. Take care of your health. Doing just gym is not healthy. Your food also matters. There are people like Zero the founder who have got heart attack, even if they gone to gyms regularly. Story 26. Your metabolism slows down at 30 and practically stops at 40. In my early 20s, I never understood how so many people could let themselves go, because diet and exercise isn't that hard. Well, now I know it is when you have a lot more responsibilities and less free time. An unforgiving metabolism, random pains and spasms for no reason whatsoever that negate any gains you made from a consistent diet, exercise routine. Story 27. Of course you want to save for retirement. However, don't be like so many older couples and singles I have met while on my travels. They spent their lives saving and saving, afraid to make any big purchases except for their home. It was only when they got old, they decided to finally spend on traveling. Sadly, they could not even enjoy it. It was difficult walking. They wanted to be in bed early. The heat, cold affected them more. One American lady I met broke her hip and ended up in hospital in Italy for 2 weeks. Save, but also live your life. Travel, eat great food, drink delicious wine, have adventures, buy things that bring you joy, take your family on trips and enjoy the ride. Story 28. I'm 36, and likely not going to be affected by this as I weightlift regularly, but fucking strength train. You don't need to get big, but man or woman, you need to build and strengthen muscle. It staves off so many parts of aging. You'll find yourself declining incredibly fast if you don't get your shit together earlier, and the earlier you start, the better off for many reasons. Pick up those dumbbells, look up routines, ask for help. Push through the anxiety if you're nervous. You owe it to yourself to be strong and healthy for more of your life.
Story 29, that people in their 20s think people in their 40s don't understand what they're going through. Sure, things change depending on political climate / economy / technology, but many of the struggles are the same, just painted different. We remember what it was like to struggle in our 20s. They can't know how they'll feel in their 40s. We lived through horrible historical events, and they also are. Also, we're the product of boomers, so we can't be equated with them.
I will say many people my age seem to lack empathy for younger generations, so some of the animosity we face is probably fair. Story 30. Your group of friends. Look around you. Do they support you? Are they sincere? Do they lift you up or bring you down? Be sure you're around the people that make you your best self. It's super fun to party and enjoy being young, but that party gets stale after a while. If you made no plans for tomorrow, you are going to have one hell of a time trying to get them together as that party life catches up. Employment. Find where you want to live first. Then find what you want to do based on the industry clusters geographically close to your preferred location. So many people pick a job based on interest with no idea that the industry only exists in areas 7 hours or more away from you. Partner. Find one. Stick with it. It will suck sometimes. You may hate them sometimes, but you need them. Relationships are like waves, they ebb and flow. Don't quit just because the trough of this wave is low. There will be an equally high point eventually. Kids, you gotta have them. I fought it until I was 35. Now I have 2, and it changed me as a person. I'm a better, more decent person with genuine concerns for the betterment of others. Kids taught me that just by being kids. It taught me patience and humbled me. Stability. Attain it independently first, then add more people as needed. Story 31. Your group of friends. Look around you. Do they support you? Are they sincere? Do they lift you up or bring you down? Be sure you're around the people that make you your best self. It's super fun to party and enjoy being young, but that party gets stale after a while. If you made no plans for tomorrow, you are going to have one hell of a time trying to get them together as that party life catches up. Employment. Find where you want to live first. Then find what you want to do based on the industry clusters geographically close to your preferred location. So many people pick a job based on interest with no idea that the industry only exists in areas 7 hours or more away from you. Partner. Find one. Stick with it. It will suck sometimes. You may hate them sometimes, but you need them. Relationships are like waves, they ebb and flow. Don't quit just because the trough of this wave is low. There will be an equally high point eventually. Kids, you gotta have them. I fought it until I was 35. Now I have 2, and it changed me as a person. I'm a better, more decent person with genuine concerns for the betterment of others. Kids taught me that just by being kids. It taught me patience and humbled me. Stability. Attain it independently first, then add more people as needed. Story 32. To those young girls in their early 20s who think it's thrilling and fun to date and be in a relationship with a significantly older man, daddy issues, I get you, it's okay, sis. It comes to a glaring halt. It gets downright gross. I've learned the hard way that couples are meant to grow old together. The aging process is meant to be shared. There's a shared empathy and compassion when we grow old together. Big age gaps reveal horrifying truths of aging that the younger person isn't prepared yet to experience, nor should they. A season for everything in due time, while the older person really ends up taking full advantage of their SO's youth and vitality, turning them into a caregiver far beyond their time. Daddy becomes grandpa in the blink of an eye, and you look over and see your man balancing a bowl of ice cream on his giant belly, moaning and groaning about every single new ache or pain like a little tiny girly baby. Story 33. To be honest, my 40s are a lot more like my 20s than I thought they would be. I'm not feeling much older and my body hasn't detonated much. My interests and hobbies are mostly the same. The last 15 years just went by incredibly fast. So I suppose what I'm saying is that you shouldn't live your life as if your 20s is all that matters. You'll soon be in your 30s and 40s, and you'll want your body and mind working just as well then as you do now. So take care of your health. Also, start saving up for retirement already.